Anyways, in this video I will be talking about some of the projects that I've been working on for the past couple weeks. Because I haven't been posting any video for a fairly long time, I thought I need to sort of explain myself why I'm doing what I'm doing currently, not posting videos. But first I'd like to introduce you a couple of the new additions to my laboratory slash studio. Should I call this studio? Anyways, the first addition is I've got another mic. I've got not a brand new, it's a second hand, but I got a new microphone. I got myself a Infrasonic Company's UFO microphone. This is I think a condenser mic, but I decided to go after one of these because it had a preamp sort of included inside this body, and it was USB connected, so I thought it would be really easy. I still don't know how to use this thing, but I'm trying to learn how to set up everything and get a proper recording station. I also have this shock mount. Here, I have this shock mount, but I do not have any stand to attach my shock mount on. So maybe building a custom microphone stand would be my next project, perhaps. So that's one addition to my lab. And the second addition is, as you might have felt, I've got a new LED light source for my video and just general reading. For previous videos of mine, they were kind of dark in a way because I did not have any proper light source to sort of shine on them to get the brightness up. But now my video quality should be slightly better than before in terms of color and hue. Anyways, those are the two new families for my lab, and let's talk about my project. So as I mentioned, I was working on a sunglasses lag project. The grand plan was to create a replacement leg for my sunglasses and obviously 3D print them and wear them on the day of Maker Faire Seoul 2015, which turned out to be really great. So that was my grand plan, and I actually made an intro before about a long time ago, and here's the intro. Take a look. I got a pair of sunglasses with a broken leg, and in this episode we're gonna try to fix it. Let's get started. Okay, so that's the intro, but so what happened? What did I actually do? Well, I basically, among the two legs, you can tell this one is the good one and this one is the part where it's broken, right? So I took the good one and sort of measured the basic dimensions of it, general height, length, and width, so on and so forth. So after taking the dimensions, I used 123D Design to produce myself the design, using the dimension I got it from this one as the reference. So I did get a fine looking outcome, at least in 123D Design. So next step was to go to Etri, register my 3D printing stuff, and give them the STL file, wait for maybe give or take 5 days, because there are a lot of waiting. Finally got the outcome, and I thought it would turn out really nice, but it did not, unfortunately. So this is the final outcome that I got from my STL file. Now if you instantly can notice this, it seems much shorter than the original, because it is actually. At first I thought people at Etri sort of shrink down my design because maybe they thought this was supposed to be a prototype, so I only need to know how it looks like. But they said no, I thought they still did, so I went back home, checked my STL file, measured the dimension of the STL file and compared it with this one, and it turned out to be correct. It's correct to the STL file that I gave them. So the problem was reference dimension that I measured for designing was wrong. That was why my product was off to the scale. I think the reason why I got my dimension wrong is because this particular leg does not have any clear cut. It has really smooth curve over here, so it's kind of difficult to measure where the curve begins. So that's a problem, because if you don't know where it starts, how should you know how long your leg is supposed to be? So I ended up wasting good $5 on cash and another good solid 5 or 6 hours designing this piece of crap. Yeah, so it's not a cheap mistake. It did cost me a lot, I think, but I did learn something from this, and what I learned is it is very important to select your reference model very carefully. Actually, I will have to make leg for the sunglasses eventually. This is not, oh well, I failed so I give up. I will have to make it, so I'm gonna give it another shot. But instead of using the same base model, I'm gonna change my base model to actually my glasses. Now if you can take a look, this model still has this round curve, but still it has a better clear cut to it, right? I can definitely see that the leg, which gets bolted on here, starts from here to here and then curves from here to there, right? So this is actually a better model to use as a guide, so I'll be using that in the next time. The next project that I was working on was a smartphone stand for my bicycle. I have a bicycle and I thought it would be really good to have some sort of a smartphone stand, which I could, instead of having to reach my pocket to check out my smartphone every time I need to see a map. If I have a platform where I could attach my smartphone on, then I can simply take a look at down for split seconds to see where I'm going and then just start driving again. I thought there would be more efficient way to use smartphone on the ride, and also more safe, rather safer way to ride a bicycle. So I basically didn't have any reference model for this project, so I basically planned everything from the scratch. So I had a multi-parted CAD design. I had a female, I had a male connection part, female connection part, and two extra pieces to sort of, hold the platform on my bicycle. So I added all of them all into one STL file and just gave it to Etri, and it turned out to be a terrible mistake. The male part, here's how it looks like. This is the male portion of the connector. And in theory, this thin, plastic should slide into the female part, and that will sort of firmly hold the thing in place. But the problem was that when I gave the STL file, I didn't really take a closer, thinking into the orientation. So instead of, obviously, for this kind of object, you would like to put it in this direction to prevent any overhang, but instead of placing like that, I just placed it like this and gave everything in one STL file. So obviously this would create a solid 5mm overhang, straight overhang. That's the worst overhang I think I can possibly imagine when you're 3D printing. And the part is sort of fused, and because the gap between the top part and bottom part is only 1mm thick, they basically fuse, and now this is sort of useless crap. And something happened to the STL file, for some reason no one knows, and what happened was I basically had about 4 parts for that project, and 3 projects were completely gone. I'm sorry, 3 components were completely gone, and all that was left on the STL file was this piece. I learned another lesson from this mistake, and that is when you have a multiple parted project, instead of giving them every piece in one STL file, it's better to give them a separate STL file. So for example, if you have 4 parted projects, give them 4 STL files. That's better off that way, because it'll be much easier for them to work with individual pieces. I mean, I guess you can do you can give them a one file, but I guess you have to take the orientation into account. If you're gonna give them in a whole piece, give them right. You know, that's the point. So I think I'll have to spend more time designing sort of functional smartphone holder for my bicycle. Anyways, that was why I couldn't upload any video for past 2 weeks or so, because I was working on these 2 projects. So I'm pretty sure nobody waited for my videos, but I'm still sorry if you sort of did. And I'll try to upload the projects for those the video for those 2 projects as soon as I can. But for now, I will be working on the videos for Maker Faire Seoul, because I went there Saturday, Sunday, and I took a bunch of videos and photos that I wish to share with all of you. So I'll be making videos about that. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you next time. This is Sam, the Maker Che, and see you next time.